Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Today, we're going to take a little dive into the DC Extended Universe. In the past, I did give praise to 2017's Wonder Woman, and I gave mixed feelings for Batman v Superman. However, since it's still summer, let's talk about a water-elemented superhero from the DC universe known as Aquaman. Created in 1941 by Paul Norris and Mort Weisinger, Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, is an adventurer who is half human, half Atlantean. This gives him a variety of powers, including superhuman strength, telepathic control over marine life, and the ability to survive both in water and on land. He belongs to the royal family of Atlantis and normally acts as their king. During the late 50s and 60s, Aquaman became a founding member of the Justice League. Sadly, he did have a weak portrayal in the Super Friends series, where he had feeble powers, and he became a staple of comedy programs and stand-up routines, which led to DC to make the character edgier or more powerful in the comic books. Also, aside from the Super Friends and Justice League cartoons, Aquaman has appeared in Batman the Brave and the Bold, as well as several DC animated original movies, including the live-action TV series Smallville. However, just several months ago, the DC Extended Universe had given us Aquaman's first solo live-action movie. But is it any good? Well, let's take a look. Released on December 21st, 2018, the movie is Aquaman. So, let's get swimming. Once home to the most advanced civilization on Earth, the city of Atlantis is now an underwater kingdom ruled by the power-hungry King Orme. With a vast army at his disposal, Orme plans to conquer the remaining oceanic people, and then the surface world. Standing in his way is Aquaman, Orme's half-human, half-Atlantean brother, and true heir to the throne. With help from Royal Counselor Vulko, Aquaman must retrieve the legendary Triton of Atlan and embrace his destiny as protector of the deep. So, what did I think of the movie? Well, believe it or not, this movie surprised me. And next to Wonder Woman, I want to consider this movie as, well, one of the few good DC Extended Universe movies. But let's move on to Mustang notes. Development on an Aquaman film began in 2004, but did not gain traction until Man of Steel was released in 2013. In August 2014, Bale and Kurt Johnstad were hired to write, competing scripts. James Wan signed on as director in April 2015, and in July 2016, the film moved forward with Bale's screenplay. The main cast was confirmed through 2016 and early 2017. Principal photography began in Australia in May 2017, taking place at Village Roadshow Studios on the Gold Coast, Queensland, with additional production teams in Canada, Italy, and Morocco. Filming concluded the following October. Several vendors provided visual effects ranging from high-detail hair simulations to the creation of CG animals and locations. The movie grossed over $1.1 billion worldwide, making it the highest grossing DCEU film, the highest grossing film based on a DC Comics character, surpassing 2012's The Dark Knight Rises, the 5th highest grossing film of 2018, and the 20th highest grossing film of all time. Now, aside from the fight scenes and the submarine rescue scene, which, in my opinion, are kick-ass, the scenes and visual effects that are underwater are really amazing. And it makes me hope that Disney might do the same thing when they make their live-action Little Mermaid movie. Also, the scene where Arthur's parents met was very interesting in my opinion. And the tidal wave scene kind of made me think of Ponyo. Well, mostly. And that news broadcast where we see destruction and trash washed up on the beaches was really thought-provoking. Another thing that I liked in this movie were the scenes in the Sahara Desert and Sicily. Speaking of which, while I am going to Italy in a few days, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to visit Sicily. It's not on my parents' agenda while I'm on vacation, so don't blame me. Anyway, let's move on to the cast. Our hero, Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, is played by Jason Momoa, best known from Conan the Barbarian. As mentioned earlier, Arthur is a half-Atlantean, half-human who possesses superhuman strength and the ability to manipulate the tides of the ocean and communicate with other marine life and swim at supersonic speeds. In this film, Arthur is reluctant to be king of the underwater nation of Atlantis. In my opinion, this version of Aquaman is really badass, and I think Jason Momoa does an awesome performance. Plus, I think Arthur has great potential to be a great king of Atlantis. Next we come to Arthur's love interest, Mera, played by Amber Heard, best known from Friday Night Lights and Zombieland. Mera is the princess of Zabel and the daughter of King Marius. She was raised by Queen Atlanta and groomed to become queen. Mera possesses hydrokinetic and telepathic powers that allow her to control her aquatic environment and communicate with other Atlanteans. To me, Mera is very beautiful as well as very compassionate. Plus, as a warrior, Mera is brave and quick thinking. Also, I like that Mera joins Arthur on his quest to find the Trident of Atlan. Next we come to my favorite character in the movie, Vulko, Atlantis' vizier and Arthur's childhood mentor, played by Willem Dafoe. Best known from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, Tales from Earthsea, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Pixar's Finding Nemo. Vulko taught Arthur much about Atlantis, such as his Atlantean heritage, and trained him how to swim and do martial arts. Next is Arthur's half-brother and our main villain for the movie, King Orme, played by Patrick Wilson, best known as the Vicomte du Chagny, aka Raoul, from The Phantom of the Opera. Orme seeks to unite the 7 underwater kingdoms in order to declare war on the surface world for humanity's pollutions of the seas. In my eyes, Orme is really ruthless, manipulative, bold, and above all, powerful, arrogant, and murderous. Mera's father, King Marius, is played by Dolph Lundgren, who played He-Man in the Masters of the Universe movie. During the events of this movie, Marius is tricked by Orme into an alliance through false pretenses. In my eyes, he may have been easily manipulated by Orme, but underneath it all, Marius truly cares for his kingdom, wanting what is best for it. Also, I'm glad that he plans to unite Zebel with Atlantis after Arthur became king. Also, I really like that he and his people have seahorses. Finally, we come to David Kane, aka Black Manta, played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who got to be in Baywatch and The Greatest Showman. Manta is a ruthless pirate and a high-seas mercenary with a flair for creating deadly technological innovations. Throughout this movie, David plans to kill Arthur for the death of his father, Jesse. Upon becoming Black Manta, David became bloodthirsty, ruthless, and heartless. In fact, he was willing to conspire with King Orme and help him declare war with the surface world as long as he was paid. Despite his cold nature, David greatly values his family lineage, as he immediately treasured his grandfather's knife after learning about it, and had a very close relationship with his father. Other actors in this movie include Ludi Lin, Tamora Morrison, Nicole Kidman, Randall Park, Graham McTavish, Michael Beach, Julie Andrews, and John Rhys Davies. Now that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's move on to my final words. Overall, Aquaman was a pretty good movie. I mean, yeah, the plot was a bit predictable, and it currently does not hold a candle to Wonder Woman, but the fight scenes are amazing. Several other scenes were interesting and thought-provoking. The visual effects for the weather and the underwater scenery were incredible, and the performances were absolutely outstanding. Plus, I think James Wan did a great job directing this movie. Now, I hear there's going to be a sequel that'll be released in the next 3 years, and so far, a spin-off titled The Trench is currently in development. If this is true, then I await with bated breath for more underwater action. I give this movie a rating of 95% out of 100. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for one more blog before I leave on my vacation. And I think, since I never talked about Rome on my show before, I think I know just the movie to look at. Mustang Power.